The woman secretly went to see the white moonlight who caused her husband's affair and her family's downfall. Seeing her pure and angelic, the woman was instantly convinced. She thought about going back and letting the two of them divorce. Just as she was about to turn and leave, she didn't expect the chandelier above to suddenly sway dangerously. She was about to be hit by the falling light, but unexpectedly, the white moonlight rushed to her side and tackled her to the ground. The woman couldn't believe what just happened. The girl then asked in sign language if she was hurt. Seeing this, the woman quickly checked the girl's injuries, but she couldn't understand why the girl, a stranger, would risk herself to save her. The girl, however, signed that she would save anyone. Touched, the woman noticed scars on the girl's body. She asked how the scars came to be. The girl gestured that she had been injured by sheet metal as a child but couldn't afford treatment. The woman then remembered that the girl lived in a medical-deprived slum. Despite being covered in wounds, the girl was pure and radiant. No wonder her cold-hearted husband was so enamored with her. At that moment, the girl saw the woman's hand trembling and kindly held it. But this caring gesture made the woman shiver, because in her previous life, her husband used the girl's hand to press the remote that killed his parents. It turned out the woman was a reincarnated soul. In her past life, her husband never touched her even after 7 years of marriage. She thought he was cold, heartless, and incapable of love. Until one day, she discovered her husband had a white moonlight outside. She heard that the girl was born in a slum, covered in scars, but pure as snow. Her indifferent husband even became gentle and considerate in front of her. This made the woman extremely jealous. So, that night at a family banquet, she had a public outburst with her husband. To her surprise, her husband didn't even blink. He only instructed his secretary to prepare a divorce agreement for her. At that time, the woman, still deeply in love with her husband and angry, ripped up the agreement and told him she would never divorce. This wrong decision led to her family's destruction. Out of anger, her husband not only blew up her factory, but also had her parents kidnapped and hung in the air. He even encouraged the white moonlight to press the button that controlled her parents' lives. As fireworks exploded, her parents died before her eyes. All that was left for her was endless regret. If she could start over, she would rather grow old alone than be involved with her husband again. Thankfully, fate gave her another chance, and she was reincarnated back to the day she first discovered her husband's affair. The first thing the woman did after being reborn was to arrange for her parents to go abroad. Then, she had a divorce agreement prepared. She planned to hand it to her husband herself. However, as soon as she opened the door, she saw her husband gently tending to the girl's scars. Seeing this, the woman felt an inexplicable pang in her heart, because she had once been a woman afraid of pain. But when she cut her finger on glass, her husband told her to endure and even complained about the smell of blood. Now, she realized she was never his favorite or exception. So, she quietly closed the door. She then handed the divorce agreement to the secretary, and reminded him not to tell her husband she had been there. When her husband received the documents, he didn't even glance at them before signing. He was certain she wouldn't leave him, not realizing the document he just signed was the divorce agreement. 5 days remained until the cooling-off period ended. During this time, her husband never returned home. Flustered, she went to the church to pray. Suddenly, a hand patted her shoulder. It was her husband's white moonlight, the mute girl. Since the woman had been saved by the girl, they had become complicated friends. The girl signed that she had something on her mind and wanted to have dinner with the woman to talk. The woman happily agreed. Soon,